Hey yo everybody, what is up? Welcome back, people of the internet. I am Pseudo, and we are iterating on a chrono build tonight. I've made some adjustments. We're going to see how it rolls out. We're going to be trying rifle, and hopefully your week is going amazing. We're going to be checking this out in preparation for the expansion drop. Going to have a spear build rolling through. Probably going to play either chrono or what's it called? The Funky Weaver thing, that's it, with Spear, when Janther Wilds comes out on August 20th, so it's going to be good. So sit back, relax, and tell me how to play Chrono, because I haven't played it in years. I'm going to have to update the build, so we'll wait for people to get here, and then jump into it, just like last time. Apologies that Monday's VOD got pulled. YouTube's been doing some funky stuff with, like, monetization and DMCAs, and despite me not monetizing my streams, yada yada yada, it'll be back up on Friday, so everybody who needs something to watch for the weekend can check that out. But let's jump into the Borderlands. We'll get this going, maybe run around with a Zerg, maybe do some roaming. I have some gear adjustments. They should be updated in the description as always, and I have to actually set this up though. Hey Sergio, what's up? Welcome back. Hopefully you're well. Hopefully you're not covered in sweat like I am. I need to learn to go to the gym a little bit earlier because I'm always panicking and then just towel off and never get to shower before these things, but it is what it is. At least New York isn't Arizona, right? It's not like a million degrees. And hopefully all of you are staying safe with the hurricane. I know it demolished part of Texas as well as Florida, so stay safe out there. It's a wild world, and hopefully we didn't break Earth too much. So let's get this going, jump in, hang out, and I will update my build after I check YouTube, Twitch, and Edge, for Firefox as well. So let me just make sure this looks all right, sounds all right. Let me mute Firefox so there's no echo, and we'll get this rolling. But how are you guys doing? Hopefully you're well, hopefully you are staying safe and hyped for the expansion. Did I watch today's dev stream? I didn't. Was there a dev stream today? Today's Wednesday. That's nuts. We can do that live. That would be kind of fun, actually. But maybe everybody's already watched it. I know they had a preview of some of the bear lore that I was deliberately avoiding, but is there something else I should be checking out, Sergio? You're my, like, eye in the sky for this stuff. I did check Reddit, and I didn't see anything, but I guess I'm just an idiot, so I don't know. Let's find it here. Dev stream. Do that while we set this up. That'd be fun. Let me find a dev stream here. What was it about? Was it about, like, the expansion, PvP, and World versus World news? Interesting. Why did they do that, like, out of the blue on a Wednesday? Did we get any warning for that? That'd be awesome to check out, actually. That's great. I mean, hopefully it's good news. Guild Wars 2 news. Okay. Bare necessities. Yeah, I didn't see anything on there. They always put everything in different places. Devs are about to go live on Twitch. This is, like, so impromptu. Oh my god, what the heck? That's so weird. All right, well, let's check this out, I guess, guys, and do chronomancer things later. Right, let me pull this up, check it out. You guys have probably already seen this, so apologies to anyone who's already seen this. Let me resize and set up a Firefox window. This will be fun, and then I get to actually drink my protein shake and maybe not die from, like, gym exhaustion here. It's a million degrees, and it also rained here. We didn't get the brunt of the hurricane, but it did rain. Let me throw this in chat, and I'll put it in the description as well. I'm assuming this is the VOD. It's the only VOD on Guild Wars 2 that's relatively... Why did they do this out of the blue? That's so random. I usually try to keep up on this stuff and, like, plan events around it. I would have made a whole video for this. Taylor, Roy, and Cal. So Roy's back. All right. Well, videos aren't loading, but we can check this out here. So let's put this in here. But they're going to do it now because a lot of stuff is releasing next week already. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's better than not doing it all, right? So let's jump in here, guys. Let's check this out. I suppose everybody's already seen this, and I'm an idiot. How do you guys get your news? I just, you know, pay attention to their, like, Reddits and news posts, but I never follow their Twitter or anything. Is that, like, is everyone following the Guild Wars 2 Twitter? Is that what's going on? Well, this is exciting. Let's jump ahead like 9 minutes so we're not just sitting here. Through the power of editing. Digging the music. Hang on. 1 second here. Got some kind of echo through the power of Twitch. Okay, I figured it out. Sorry about that. All right, we should be good. Cool. Beautiful. Neat. Let's do it. Let's do it. I can double check all my streams while this rolls. Thank you, chat. You guys rock. That's amazing. Yeah, Twitter. You heard from Reddit? All right. Well, I missed it on Reddit. I was checking Reddit. I was like, hey, there hasn't been any news in a while. We got an expansion coming. Huh. I guess I'm blind. Fair enough, I suppose. I thought about that. We'll go time travel to a time when Daring Dragon wasn't nerfed, right? Nah. It'll be great. Honestly, I don't even, like, care at all at this point. Like, I'm gonna have so much fun playing other crap for this expansion. Chrono and Ellie look so cool with this. Alright, what we got? 30 seconds? Looks good, sounds good. Not echoing on Firefox. Let me throw the Firefox volume on here. Alright, cool. Alright, well, there's apparently PvP and World vs. World seasons. Everybody, welcome back. I am Pseudo. This is going to be reacting to this live. Apparently everybody and their cat saw this and I missed it, so we'll be doing a stream for it. Maybe I'll cut it into an individual video. This will be awesome. Apparently they're doing it today because there's a lot of releases next week, and I credit my chat with this. I completely missed it, so let's get it rolling. It's going to rock.
All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody, to the stream. Afternoon, good morning, good evening, what have you.
People are always salty no matter what.
Believe it or not, I have returned. Not here last time. But,
where was Carl? He should have just put Carl under
first time
Roy,
we've
you
ever
know?
done the stream.
Oh, that's true. This is the first time we've ever done the stream. Fortunately, Cal and Taylor are here still, and they are here to carry the stream as always.
That looks like
but
he's in an office.
Before we get started, Taylor, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. I see I'm listed as a wrestling enthusiast.
Yes.
I think that joke is going over my head, but you know, I'll take your word for it.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of the stream is when we pan to this scene and I get to see what titles Roy has given to everybody.
It's never going to say closeted warrior, man.
So we'll give let Cal give an intro, and talk a little bit about what we're doing today on the stream.
Come on, guys, let's rock.
Let's go. Kind of forgot we were doing the stream today. I've been spending so much time playing the raiding simulator that got posted to Reddit recently. So, I don't even know why we're here. I don't know what we're doing, but Cal, take it away.
Strong start.
Sure. Yeah, so just to start off, it's not a balance preview stream. I know a lot of people thought it might be, but this is a different stream. We're talking about competitive modes here today.
So you PvP, coward. Give us a date.
We have seen kind of the response to the balance update previews that we've done, and you know, we end up getting a lot of good feedback for those, and they're just kind of an enjoyable thing for you guys in the community. Hopefully, at least that's the vibe we get, at least. So we keep doing them. So we thought with some of the competitive updates we were doing that it would be nice to do a preview stream as well.
Dude,
you know,
for
get some
real,
early
thank
feedback.
You.
Obviously, some of the things are going to be a little bit harder to theory craft about before they're in game than balance stuff might
give
be.
Give it to us.
The same gist here, where it's like we're gonna show you some stuff that's coming. This stuff's actually coming next week.
What?
So that's pretty exciting. But you know, in the future we might have a little bit more run-up time for the preview and before the release happens. This one's kind of come together fairly quickly, so we are kind of, you know, winging it a little bit as we do.
And we're fixing Bladesworn now.
But we're going to be talking about some upcoming changes to PvP and World vs. World that are coming in the release next week.
Please.
One thing I'll add is that we aren't going to say anything about the game mode stuff that we talked about very, very briefly for PvP. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Oh my god, they actually mentioned it.
But that will be included in today's stream.
Guild Wars 2.
So I think I covered everything.
I think so.
I'm mostly just here to be on the stream. I don't know why I'm here. Roy and Taylor are going to be doing most of the talking, so I figured I'd get all my rambling out of the way at the start. Maybe
Hale has to be in an office, right?
But for the most part, I'm just going to sit here smiling while Roy and Taylor talk about changes for World v. World and PvP.
Okay, sitting here smiling's my job.
Oh, and one other thing I was going to mention that probably no one cares about, but just to explain, I saw some people asking, like, what are these guys doing on this stream? Don't they do the balance streams? But this is the competitive team, actually, and the skills and balance team, a subset of the competitive team. It's all under the same umbrella. So PvP, World v. World, skills and balance, it's all the same team, basically.
I'm so tempted to skip
there's obviously more members than are seen on this stream.
I'll have it
but it is not unusual for the three of us to be here talking about competitive modes.
They're probably the only ones that have been cleared by legal, for real. like
So there we
actual
go.
reason?
That's probably enough rambling for the start of this, huh?
Yeah, probably.
Let's go.
I will also mention, Cal touched upon the fact that these changes are going to be coming next week. Obviously, that's not a ton of time for us to, iterate on anything. But we are going to be. The reason we're showing you these changes, in part, is because we are looking for feedback on them. So we are going to be paying attention to the feedback.
Feedback in 1 week.
as always.
Yeah, good fucking luck.
Throughout the various avenues, and
Oh
see the
my
response
God,
to the change.
chat.
Yeah, I think we can get into it, and we can start talking about them.
Let's go, boys.
Coming next week. And we're going to be starting off with the PvP changes, which means that Taylor is going to be talking for the next hour. Cal and I will be saying no words.
Sick.
It's not going to take that long, but as you see here, there are 3 major points to talk about for PvP. We're taking the AT system and expanding it, adding new automated tournaments, shifting how the current ones
mention
work.
a lot of this.
We'll be adding a new colored title for PvP. After World v World and PvE got theirs, we got a lot of player feedback that PvP also wants one. So you guys know that we already said we're coloring Champion Brawler, but we're also going to be adding a new title for tournament play based on those ATs I just talked about. And then finally, we're doing a slight rework to Jin's Dominion's objective.
Slight.
We saw that, not many people really interacted with it. It was seen as not really valuable, so we've made some efforts into making people actually want to do the objective.
Very cool.
Yep, so this is the first slide on ATs. This is going to talk about both dailies and a new weekly tournament. The biggest thing for dailies that you guys need to know is that we're reducing the amount that happens from 8 to 4, but these ATs are now going to happen asynchronously on each region to happen more in their prime times. So you can see that I've listed the times for EU and NA here. In UTC, and then NA is also in PDT, so if you're East Coast, you can work backwards on what those times are. But basically, the EU ones are going to happen every 3 hours in a block of 4, and then NA is going to happen every 3 hours for a block of 3, and then we also have one that's offset a bit. That's because we see a high amount of off-hours play on NA, especially with the Oceanic player base, and so this one's positioned for them, because we did see signups happening for them with the old AT system, and so we're going to be monitoring these times, especially the Oceanic one, to look at their signups, make sure if we have them in the right place. But these are the times we're going to go with. And the bigger note here is that we're adding a new weekly AT. It's going to happen every Sunday, sorry. And as like the dailies, it's also going to happen asynchronously. About 3 hours after EU happens, it'll happen on NA. So hopefully be a better time slot for both regions. Pretty close to when the monthlies happen because people are used to being able to log on for tournaments at that time. So that's going to happen every Sunday. There'll be no QP entry for these. And the gold rewards are increased compared to like a daily tournament. You can see here that first place gets 150 gold. So 150 gold a week, that's pretty good. But even the 9th through 16th place gets 25 gold. Pretty comparable to just winning a daily AT. So, the value for just signing up and playing, pretty good. And we're also included Ascended Shards of Glory and PvP League tickets as a way for, people that don't really want to grind rank that much, but still want the PvP rewards. They have this option to sign up for the weekly tournament and help get some of those currencies to help their grinds in a different way.
And get bullied in exchange for juiced rewards.
For us to all play ATs together.
No, it makes sense though.
I'm sure that
we're gonna get the ANET team back together.
ANET team, we'll get Joshua Grouch, not a Grouch Davis.
I effing dare you.
And we just need one more.
Yep, going to be stiff competition for you guys there.
Yeah, we made top 4 of the first AT
since
ever.
Taylor's getting fired after this stream.
You can do it again.
Not really. He's
not have Taylor and I on your team though.
Yeah, neither of you guys worked here yet.
Yeah, I was like, what?
All right, very good.
Let's
Moving on to the automated tournaments.
Let's fluff
updated,
more specifics.
Continued,
Come on, guys.
Updates continued slide.
Yep.
So big it needs 2 slides.
So these are going to be even more tournaments that are happening. So right now the monthly happens every 4th Saturday, which gives us more time to do other things. So we're going to add a new variety tournament that's happening every 2nd Saturday of the month. It'll occur at the same time as the monthly. These are not asynchronous. It happens at the same time as the monthly, and it's mostly because there are prestigious rewards attached to these. You can see that there's going to be a special title based on if it's 2v2 or 3v3, and the permanent champion's rest pass. So kind of like the gizmos that come in monthlies, we want to make sure that they're not being fully gate kept, which is why they happen at the same time on both regions. But as you can see, it's going to alternate between 2v2 or 3v3. So the first one is probably going to be in August. I think we missed the July, so it'll be 3v3. If this is the return of Duo of Destiny for 2v2.
This is actually exploding
title
my
that
brain,
happened
chat.
once, and so
Oh
people
my
have more
God,
chances to
what?
get it. And 3v3 will have its own title as well when it happens.
This
and then
is
you,
huge.
Free title.
This is them
I believe it's
admitting.
Triumphant Trio.
I gotta pause this for just like a second. This is actually enormous, chat, because one of the biggest problems with PvP in this game is they've never touched the fact, they don't ever touch the drama that surrounds NA, that it's just like there's huge gatekeeping. And they specifically use that word, whether they were supposed to or not. So whatever you think about Team USA, they and a bunch of other people are the only people who win those gizmos and that permanent champions rest pass, which is like the PvP lobby. So if they can do something to at least give other people a chance as a studio and admit that they want other people to have those rewards, that is a huge mentality mindset, at least what they're signaling to the community of people who care about this stuff, that they want to do something to increase the amount of people who are comfortable in a PvP area. That's awesome. You're still going to get bullied. Absolutely. These people are still impossible because they're really good at the game. But this is huge as a studio mentality shift. Oh my God. This is the last thing I thought they would ever do as a studio. Like, actually, period.
Okay.
This is enormous.
So,
I love it.
Pretty good.
You know, if you like that, then great. Other than that, Tournament of
Yes.
Legends is returning, as we mentioned before. It's
if I
going to
don't
run.
like it?
What if I don't like it?
Yeah, what
Well,
if you don't
that's
like it?
You know, it's
Dang.
just unfortunate. Life happens.
Yeah.
But Tournament of Legends currently scheduled to run every
Oh
6
my
months.
God.
We're not ready to announce where the first
That's
TOL is coming,
unfortunate.
but announcement's gonna be soon, so keep your eyes out for that. This will occur the third Saturday of the month.
Monster,
at the
where
same
are
time
you?
as MATs. So
Got
you
some
know,
planning
the
to
month
do,
that
dude.
TOL happens, the second Saturday you'll have the variety, then you'll have TOL, then you'll have monthly, pretty big. And if people remember the last TOL, the rewards weren't great because they haven't been updated for a while. The second place got a precursor, which is like
Yeah, a
30,
little
40
bit.
gold now, which is not great.
Ooh.
So they have been pretty juiced,
Unless you get the
updated.
Dark Precursor.
I think second place basically gets like a precursor, a gift of fortune, and a gift of mastery, and like third
Good.
place and everything under also gets like pretty good rewards. That's going to be exciting, and just the tournament itself is going to be exciting.
salty
That always
about
sees
this?
a lot of people come back to play.
Who in the world
Why
is
sign
salty
up?
about
So
this?
it's not optimal to decline the top 4 match anymore? I don't
It's
think I
not.
win.
I might have done that the last TOL because I wanted my gift of mastery and not a precursor.
Okay.
I
That's good, that's
personally,
good.
him.
Yep.
Yeah, TOL obviously very exciting.
Unironically,
We'll have to get the
very
unit team together for that one
very
too.
cool.
I'm sure that'll happen.
Now
just like the
ANET
weekly
confirm
ATs.
it.
So we can go to the next
right.
slide.
Moving
I'm sorry,
on.
chat. This
Away
is
from
huge.
the automated
This is out
tournaments.
of.
Whoa, what is that?
What did I do to
That's
deserve
a
this?
picture. That's a screenshot.
Yeah.
An image.
An
Not a
image.
PowerPoint.
So this is the new color title for tournaments. At the top, it mentions what people already know. Champion Brawler is being colored. It'll be the same color that you see here. It's going to be retroactively. Everyone that has Champion Brawler will get the color title. Everyone in the future will get the color title.
Damn it.
And so we're doing a new system for the Champion of Champions title, which it's going to be based around playing in MATs more than once. Like a lot of the time, you know, if you
I
get
like that,
first, you
actually.
get your title in a
Yeah,
gizmo,
and
and
you
then
dip.
the reasons for coming back and
Sell
doing it
'em.
again aren't great. And if you don't get first, then you don't really get a lot. There's not, you know, if you don't think you get first, it's not really a great reason to play. So we're going to be giving these proofs of glory to first through fourth. So you have to place high to get some, but if you don't get first, you're still gonna get progress as this achievement. You
Bruh.
see that first will get 30, second will get 15, and third and fourth will get 10, and then at 120 proofs you'll get the title, Champion of Champions. So the fastest you can get it is with 4 months of first place, or you know if you're just pretty consistent to get third and fourth, but you
months of
can't really get
first
more than
place.
that, then after a year you'll still get the achievement. And then the achievement's repeatable, so you can track even after you get 120. We know a lot of people will hit this number, but then they'll still want to play. There's not really an extra thing you get for it, but you know, if in the future you'd be like, I have 300 proofs of glory, and you want to brag about that, then you certainly can.
Link it in chat.
Link it
Yep.
in
Yeah.
chat.
Al, any quips?
This is nuts.
Any quips? Is this the end of the PvP session?
I
one more.
will.
Cal's
I
just
will
here to be
note
salty that
that
Team
this
USA.
is not retroactive. People
Oh
that
my
have
God.
already been winning first,
This
you will
is
still
nuts.
need to sign up and do it. We want this to be a reason that people play more MATs, and so, you know, you gotta play more for this. You don't get progress. You're not gonna get credit for things you already did. We want this to be a driver
So
for more
cool.
engagement.
I don't have any good quips for this one.
All right. I expect one at the end of the next slide.
Yeah, I do too, man.
And now we come to Jin's Dominion changes.
Let's go. What you got?
You know what, Taylor? I think we'll have you talk about these.
Yep.
Fix it up a little.
Jin's Dominion.
Taylor's
Once
one
the
who's
map
played
came
the game
out,
in the last year.
you know, we definitely
Talk
see a
about
lot
everything.
of people interacting with the objective, like I mentioned. It was seen as like low value. The only time people interacted with it is to go into the lamp arena to like kite and then come right out.
Yes.
So we've made some efforts to make it more appealing. You can see that the objective is now a channel instead of a capture point, so it's going to work like Temple of the Silent Storm, where you have to channel to get the thing, and then you used to give the special action key to your entire team. Everyone would get the skill, but now only the person who channels is going to get the skill, and that lets us make it like really more powerful. So you know, if you're a thief that has time to go to get it, or a side noter that really wants to lock down that 1v1 to secure the buff, and you're gonna like hopefully feel pretty rewarded for that.
Oh, we got to do the
so we've also updated the skills that you're gonna get. So giant meteor, it used to be just a ground target that would like fall and do damage. It wasn't really that impressive. So now it's going to be a targeted skill, and it's going to follow them, kind of like Dragon's Tooth. And it's going to do a lot of things. It's basically like a kill marker that you put on your target. It's going to knock down.
That's just insta-kill them. Okay.
It removes all their boons and applies vulnerability. If you see this on someone, you know, if it's on you, you know, you're going to really need to dodge this. And if you see someone on your team put it on them, you know, to focus that target. Force out a defensive cooldown so that they don't have a dodge for the giant meteor, or you know that they're going to dodge the giant meteor, and you can plan that they don't have a dodge after it. So this is a pretty good
Taylor telling you how to play PvP
skill to use if you want to focus a target. And then the second skill is going to be Waters of Life,
so weird that it's
replacing
random,
Disenchantment Field.
You gotta,
in
like,
its
know what they
essence,
do
it
once you
is
get it,
a
and then
targeted
go
AoE
use
that
it.
revives allies and finishes enemies in a radius. It has about the same cast time as the necromancer, Signet of Undeath, so it's a decently fast
doesn't
cast.
Seem very good.
This could be obviously turn a fight really fast. It's res Signet, but also if you just want to finish an enemy, you have the option to do that too.
How am I going to remove?
It still explodes my brain that they did this like last minute. Again, ArenaNet, thank you. This is great. More communication like this, even if it's last minute. I love it. This is awesome.
All of my boons now, though.
You know, it doesn't remove all of the boons from yourself. That's a pretty big upside. Gotta admit, or removes conditions from your
upside. Right? Yes, that's a good thing. You're
right. And then we can move on to the third skill, Waxing Doom. It lost a lot of value. Now that you're the only person on the team with the skill, doesn't really make a lot of sense. It kind of was that targeted fire before, but now we're doing Starfall, where it's going to be kind of like the worldly impact, kind of jump up and smash the ground. And it'll launch enemies in a radius around you, do some pretty good damage if you land it. But the bigger thing is that if you're on an enemy node that they control, it'll decap the node. So this is like if there's a bunker that's holding down a node, your team can't get it, or the points are close, you really need that fast decap. You can get the skill, go to the point, decap it immediately. Nothing much the other team can do. So hopefully all these three skills are pretty interesting and valuable, and people will start interacting with them like the objective at Jin's. And the last point is that leaving the lamp arena will apply teleport sickness with a scaling duration like Skyhammer. So people are used to Skyhammer. It's kind of to both prevent people from going in and out of the lamp just to kite, but also prevent people from being able to go in and out of the lamp easily to just like one tap people to stop them from channeling the objective. You know, if you go in and out, the first thing is pretty short, but after it goes like 10-15 seconds, and so if you can't 1v1 the person trying to channel, you'll be in a pretty sticky situation, because then they can just, you know, you're trapped in there with them.
Never want to be in one of those.
So that should pretty much cover it. Little note that isn't on here is that the midpoint has a bug that it's slightly lower. So if you start jumping on the midpoint, you won't cap it. We fixed that. So that's also a pretty good Jin's change. But that should pretty much wrap it up for the PvP changes.
All right, Cal?
That's pretty good. Well, I don't have any quip, but I just have like more things to say.
And we're nerfing Blade Sworn.
Like the Jin's changes are pretty good. The secondary objective now being a channel, and Taylor talked about this a little bit, but like it's so much faster to cap now as well. Instead of having to stand off the map for like 14 seconds to cap a capture point uncontested, now you just pop in. So it's a lot more like Coliseum, where like those buffs are things that it's very easy for a roamer to go pick up or someone to go snag after a fight ends. So we're hoping to see a lot more engagement with the secondary mechanic, because it's now a lot more powerful, but it's also easier to get.
Yeah, I will also say that this is not being added to AT's MAT schedule. We would definitely want to see how people play with this before we added something big like that.
Hopefully it's not another 3-year
keeping our eye on this map and see how people react to these changes.
Because Jin's Dominion was in the game for like 3
Alright.
years before they
It's
they changed
the
nothing
one
and then
other
just put
PP
it like
thing
in the
that's
permanent
not
rotation.
on the slide anywhere because it's
Very
already
weird.
live. It's the rank reward updates.
Mhm.
You have anything to say about those, Taylor? Or we already put them in the patch notes
Get
for
your
the
potions
last
now.
release, I believe. So
Yeah.
people are aware. But do you want to talk about it at all?
Yeah, people didn't see them. Ranked rewards got updated. Basically now for as you do your ranked reward track, the chest, you'll get, we added karma to PvP. That was a big ask because a lot of the special skins like the Aurene variants cost a lot of karma and main PvP players didn't have a great resource for that. So we're added that. You're also going to get faster PvP ranked reward potions
great
as
karma
you
from
progress,
PvP.
which will obviously make your reward track go faster, more gold, which is great. We also reduced the amount of ascended shards it costs to buy ascended armor and increase the amount of grandmaster marks you got from doing the ranked reward track, which
The last
in itself
half an
just makes
hour.
it easier to get ascended
World versus
gear. We
world?
know a lot of people want to play more than one game mode, and so we didn't want to make it feel like when you're playing PvP, you're wasting your time and you can't, grind for the gear that you could in PvE. And we want to make it easier to go back and forth game modes. So hopefully all these changes make it feel more rewarding to play PvP and easier to just get involved with the game in general.
I mean, they admitted it. This is like Killer Instinct to getting a patch
Very
after 10
good.
years. Like, almost literally, chat.
Now move
This
on
is
to the World
nutty to
versus
me.
World updates.
You have no
so
idea
I
how
will be talking
surreal
for
this
a little
is.
bit. And yeah, we're going to be focusing on some scoring updates. We've talked about this a little bit previously. We mentioned in a blog post that we really wanted to heavily rework some parts of scoring, how scoring works in World versus World. We've also got an update on how contesting objectives works, and we've got a little bit of a look at tactic and some siege updates there in World versus World. Right. So first and foremost, a lot of numbers here.
Interesting.
Feel free to screenshot and or go back in the VOD and look at them. You can see at the top, the first one, the table there is for EU. Second one is for NA. We've got the time zones, their own respective time zones. But the idea here is basically that victory points, which are the points you earn every skirmish, which are 2-hour blocks for World versus World, are now going to be weighted based on the player population per that skirmish, and per. Again, we have the different ones per region here.
Yeah,
the idea basically is that we want to make sure we're rewarding, the time zones or the time blocks that are, based on the amount of players that are playing them. Right now, every single skirmish is worth the same amount of points, no matter how many players are playing versus them. We don't want to, feel as though we're taking away points from players, but we also want to make sure that we're giving players
get wrecked,
an equal amount of points based on, again, the activity during that skirmish. These are numbers that we're planning on tweaking if needed. This is obviously, the first time we're changing this. These numbers might not be perfect. First go.
The Sea of Sorrows was dominant.
We also expect that there's a chance that player population shift as time goes on, as we continue to make updates to the game mode. And so we are going to be prepared to change these numbers as see them to be needed. I think that more or less covers it. Obviously, it's a pretty significant change, but it is also, there's not really too much depth to it there. I don't know if Hal or Taylor, you have any comments? But
yeah, if these numbers look a little all over the place, you guys, we can confirm that Roy has a mad scientist spreadsheet that he put together to figure out the right values.
Oh boy, Roy did this well.
Obviously, they're kind of like a ballpark. Still trying to find, numbers that make sense. I'm not expecting them to be exactly perfect because they are trying to be slightly based off, like relative player populations per skirmish, but they're not going to be like an exact. This is, multiplied by 2.34 because of whatever, but
they are some music chat.
Thoughtful numbers, even if that might not be obvious.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we did.
No one understands the spreadsheet except for Roy. He linked it to me. He's like, "Can you look at this?" I'm like, "Can you explain?"
Cal's like, "I'm looking at it."
Spreadsheet? But once he explained it, it all makes sense. So we can trust it.
Good to know. The maths check out. Yeah, we did go through many iterations with this. We do have plans to potentially change how this restructuring of the victory points works. Again, we definitely want to keep an eye on it and make sure that this is a positive change. That this is doing what we want it to. Making the skirmishes that have full maps for several hours. Feel that they're rewarded. Feel that they're worth playing for. Feel that they're worth fighting for. And yeah, so it is something we're going to be definitely keeping an eye on. Definitely, again, tweaking the numbers as needed. Yeah. But That is just the first change we
I like
have
that
for
they
scoring.
spend more time saying nothing on that
The
section than they
next
did
two
covering
are gonna
Warrior
be a little
2
bit
streams
smaller.
ago.
Once again, we're changing some numbers here.
Okay,
so we've
objective
got
point changes.
the war score that you get from capturing objectives is going to be increased.
So,
An
comeback
important note here
mechanic?
is that camps are not having any of their points being changed, or point values being changed, and tier 0 objectives are not having
A
anything
lot for
changed.
stone
So
miss, that's for sure.
we're not going to see, a case where flip a keep and then 5 minutes later on the next tick.
War
it gets
score
flipped
awarded
back,
for defeating an
and,
enemy
you
player.
get
Hell
a
yeah.
Score from that. If it's not upgraded at all,
I'm
it's
earning
not going to change.
1/3 more points.
But the idea here is that
I guess
once
50% more.
as time goes on, as you are defending an objective, as you're upgrading it, it becomes harder to flip. It becomes harder, potentially a little bit easier to defend.
All right.
And so you see these longer fights around objectives that in general, especially when during the more active skirmishes. It takes longer to flip an objective. You have to put more effort into it, and so you should be rewarded more for
my
that
God.
effort.
Please.
As we
Dear
said
God.
with the victory point
Stop
changes, these are our
It's
first
a good change, Roy.
jab
Next
at these
thing.
numbers. It's possible that these numbers are too high. It's possible these numbers are too low. Again, we're going to be keeping track, keeping an eye on if this changes any sort of behavior. If these numbers seem good, obviously we're looking at feedback, seeing
Getting
how
a snack,
players
chat.
respond to them. But again, the idea here is that obviously 120 points for tier 3 Stone Mist Castle is a lot of points. It's a big chunk of points, especially in a 2-hour block. If you flip it during them, and so that means that you should be incentivized more towards flipping harder objectives, where maybe before you didn't want to put in that effort. But it also means that
You didn't
defending it is
wanna
going
put
to
in
feel more
that
valuable
effort.
as well, preventing enemy teams from getting that
Oh,
larger
man.
chunk of points. Put more effort into holding that objective for longer. It should feel more valuable to hold.
In case you wanted to play a game
and then
mode, but put
on
in
the bottom
0
there,
effort.
small note, very, very self-explanatory. The war
Loudest
score you get
13 bar in
from
the
killing
world.
an enemy player in World vs. World is going from 2 to 3.
Hell yeah.
This is,
Make
we
it
don't really expect
50.
this to be a huge shift for most skirmishes or most point gains, but we did notice that there weren't really any skirmishes that were won or lost dependent on kills and deaths, outside of maybe a couple of skirmishes, especially around reset times when there's a lot more fights happening, during those hours. But for the most part, we're not really seeing points from kills being that effective or having much weight on whether or not a skirmish is won or lost. And so this is just a very slight bump.
And again, recap,
Again,
skirmishes
we're
are
not
the
expecting this
2-hour
to make a
blocks.
huge shift, but we are expecting it to maybe feel a little bit better. For getting points from kills. Again, as always, we'll be keeping an eye on it. If it seems like this is blowing kills out of proportion, or value from kills out of proportion, we can always lower that number back if we need to. All right, that will more or less wrap it up for scoring. I will just note, for myself, that scoring is something that I think there's no necessarily best solution for it. This is something that we've been wanting to work on for a while. We've talked about it previously. And it's definitely, a big task that we've been wanting to work on and address, and we'll continue iterating and
least
tweaking,
shit
as
solution.
needed.
I guess that's
But
the best
now that we
solution,
feel
right?
as though we've gotten at least some changes in for scoring, we can really start looking towards something else that we've talked about previously, which is
Gameplay.
incentivizing winning,
Damn
making
it.
players more interested in winning, making winning
Edge
feel
of the
better
miss.
for players,
Damn it.
and for teams. And so, now that we've gotten these scoring changes, or we're going to be getting them in next week, that is going to be probably where we're putting a lot of our focus for the time being and moving forward, which I think, we've seen a lot of players asking for, they want more reasons to be playing and winning. And that is very important to us, and it's definitely a major goal that we are planning on looking at for the future.
I like 10
All
more
right, that
minutes,
will wrap it up for scoring changes.
chat.
So we've got now two pretty big changes here for how fighting in and around structures is going to be. So the first one is going to be changing how structures and objectives get contested. So right now on live, what happens is as soon as a guard that is associated an NPC
Oh, no
that is
more
associated
delayed
with an
contesting.
objective
Interesting.
gets into combat, or
But
as soon
not,
as someone
not the
hits a
walls,
gate or
just
a
the
wall,
lord or a supervisor put
whatever
in combat.
damages said gate or wall,
Oh, no,
they
gate
get
or
into
wall.
combat,
Okay.
that structure will become
No,
contested.
that makes sense.
And so this is somewhat problematic for structures that are tier 3, that have
Or
waypoints in
anything.
them. It's very easy for a single player to tag, as is commonly known, a gate or a guard on a tier 3 keep or a tier 3 SMC, and prevent that waypoint from being used for the duration of that repel event,
Or
3 minutes, and then go back and
When
just
your
do it again
zone
on
gets there,
repeat.
you send the
This
thief
isn't
ahead
really
to
healthy
tag
behavior.
your
This
guard,
isn't really
and
what
it
we
puts it
feel
in combat,
should
so
be
you can't
enough
respond.
to contest
Very
an
common
objective.
tactic.
And so we're changing it. So
Basically,
putting
what
guards
they're
in
saying is
combat,
fuck
attacking
these.
guards, killing guards is no longer going to contest objectives.
I'm kidding. but
The
only so.
only NPC that will contest an objective is the Lord. So if you do get into the Lord room, obviously, especially on keeps, You've gotten through several layers of defense, you've gotten through several walls and gates.
You packed into a garrison.
Getting that lord into combat is going to, just as it is now on live, put that objective essentially in combat and contest it. The other way to contest an objective is going to be by damaging a wall or a gate under a health threshold. Right now that health threshold is 98%. As with every number in the stream, we can tweak that if needed. We're going to be keeping an eye on how that number feels. But the idea here is going to be that, once again, we don't want someone to be able to just run up to a gate, hit it with any ability, put it in combat, basically do 1 damage to it, and contest the objective for. And so now you're going to have to at least commit some time or some actual siege to be able to get those walls or gates down under the threshold for contesting the objective. It's important to note, right now, there are crossed swords that appear on an objective. You can see that in the screenshot a little bit.
There's a lot
right
of
on the center icon of the objective. Those swords, normally currently alive, they appear 30 seconds after the objective gets contested, 30 seconds after the objective, or the repel event for that objective starts. Obviously, now there's going to be a bit of a delay between.
I love that they're doing this in other royals.
There would be a bit of a delay between when those swords pop up and when an enemy group is actually basically sieged up and on a gate or a wall. We want to make sure that defenders have as much time as possible to see objectives being contested and respond to it. And so those cross swords are going to appear as soon as the event pops up. So there's not going to be that delay anymore. There's not going to be 6 rams on a gate ready to go and already having the gate at 80% before anyone even notices that the objective is contested. So defenders should have a good amount of time to respond. We want to make sure that they're not feeling as though they're losing any value or they're losing any ability to respond to objectives. And on the same vein here, in regards to responding to objectives, we're taking a look at the emergency waypoint tactic. And so now the emergency waypoint tactic is going to spawn not 1, not 2, but 3 waypoints when you pull it. The duration of the tactic has not changed. It's just going to be an additional couple of waypoints. You can see in the screenshot there, that's going to be the green keep on Eternal Battlegrounds. They're going to be, the additional 2 waypoints will be relatively close to the Lord's Room, relatively placed around the Lord's Room. We can certainly change the placement of these waypoints if we feel like we need to, if we feel like any specific placement is being abused in a bad way. But the idea here is basically that a lot of times what we see is an enemy group will break into a Lord's Room. They'll be on the Lord. Defenders, whether they've been focused on defending another objective, they've been focused, they just weren't aware, maybe of the attack, whatever it may be. And they take the emergency waypoint and they basically spawn into a huge Zerg, a huge group of players that just
being
kill
that guy
off repeat. There's nothing really they can do because obviously their normal waypoint is contested.
Oh my God.
And so we want to make sure that doesn't really happen. You shouldn't feel as though responding to an objective immediately leads to your death. So now you'll have the ability to take 1 of 3 different waypoints. We're hoping that this results in potentially some, good communication between defending groups. Linking a specific waypoint, saying take the north waypoint, what have you. And making sure that, or basically forcing attacking groups to have to pay more attention to where defenders are coming in, and not being able to just stand on top of a single spot, a single waypoint, and basically just farm defenders coming in. Because again, we want to make sure that defending feels good and so you're able to defend objectives.
I feel like they could give like the Lord's reveal
more or
something.
less wraps it up for those changes.
Roy, is this your favorite objective? What's the choice of screenshot here?
That's a great question.
It's
it is not my favorite objective.
AM apparently.
I'm not sure what my favorite objective would be, and before anyone says, no, it is not Roy's Refuge, because in fact that was not named after me. It's named after a different Roy, unfortunately. And actually, maybe, you know what, it's probably Cohen's
probably still
Overlook.
cover
Is
the
that
Lord
the
with like
name?
reveal traps, right?
I think that's my favorite one, named after my favorite Guild Wars 2 designer.
One of the ruins.
Right now.
One of the ruins, yeah. I love the ruins.
I was actually added against my suggestion. So just gonna throw that out there.
I like that one. No, actually, the reason that I picked the green ED keep, I was originally going to do blue, but when I spawned into the map, I was put on the green team. So that's the objective that I went to.
I really like the global event that they took off of Desert.
You can differentiate between these waypoints, right, Roy? They all, their names are slightly different, not all the same name. So if someone links it, you can know which one.
So the names are going to unfortunately appear as the same for the first release of this, but we are planning on updating the names, so each one of them is going to be different for the following release. We will, there is going to be,
waypoint left. Emergency waypoint right. Emergency waypoint. Don't go to this one because it's in the center.
If you link a waypoint in chat and someone takes it, you'll be able to just go to that direct waypoint. The link will work. And the names, again, they will be updated for the following release, so there will be specific names of the waypoints.
Oh my God.
We'll be able to tell which
what
one
is this game?
in that
this
following
Street Fighter?
Get the text.
Worst case, you know, you take the wrong waypoint, you die. You can
just
luckily
take
just take the other waypoint.
Yeah.
So not
exactly.
huge.
That's a decent
again,
point.
the duration of this tactic is not going to be changed, and of course that is something that, you know, if this, you know, just makes it so much, you know, too overpowered, too strong, that is something that we can definitely look at as well, reducing the duration of the tactic. If all right, we can move on from this now.
Or we got something
we're going to be
else?
taking a look at some siege changes. We haven't really had a lot of the siege updates recently.
Interesting.
And so, you know, we're taking a look
more
at some.
useless. Sick.
Haven't really had touches in a while. Mostly going to be supply cost changes. Hopefully we see a little bit more siege used in certain ways, or potentially a little bit less. Maybe they were a little bit too strong.
I love
But
how
before we
they
get to that,
somehow
we're going
still
to be talking
managed
about
to
some
indirectly
boons,
nerf
everyone's
plate
favorite topic.
sworn.
And specifically, boons not applying to siege. Alacrity is not going to be able to be applied to any siege.
Oh my
we feel
God.
that cooldowns on siege are specific to that siege.
This game,
you know,
man.
they weren't really balanced around having alacrity. And having
Which
alacrity.
one? The
just
last
both
class with
for attacking
alacrity?
and for defending. This is
Other
something
than
that's going
renegade?
to affect both. It's not going to affect just one or the other.
Oh my God.
So if you
that
have
kills
alacrity,
me.
it's going to get removed when you get on a ram or, you know, a catapult or what have you. If you are on a piece of siege and someone applies alacrity to you, it is not going to apply. Similarly, no boons will be applied to golems other than swiftness. You know, swiftness feels good to have on a golem, so, you know, there's not really a reason to take it off. But the rest of the boons, you know, we don't want applying to golems either. We just feel that, again, golems are very, very powerful
Didn't
tools,
even affect golems.
mostly
It was
used
like
for
light
attacking,
and swiftness, and, that was it or
and boons
something.
on them are going to be just a little bit too. Next
So
change is
there's
going to
like
be
a
that flame ram health. This is going to be a little
amount
bit of
of
an interesting
time that'll
one.
take
Is going to
to,
be
like,
lowered
get
by
them all down?
50%. So obviously that's a pretty significant change in terms of flame ram health. 50% is a big number, a big change. However, if they are manned, they're going to have iron hide applied to them.
If they are
50%
personed,
damage
excuse
reduction.
me.
The idea here is that
2024.
we don't necessarily want to make it, you know, we don't want putting up flame rams, you know, just see them wiped out immediately if you're trying to destroy a gate. But a lot of times what will happen is, you know, you'll have a couple of defenders on an objective, and maybe a group comes in to respond, and, you know, and a group has gotten through outer, so they put rams up on the gate. The defenders are able to wipe the attackers, but the flame rams are still there, and there's only a couple of defenders left. It takes a really long time for them to kill those flame rams. It takes a really long time to destroy them just because of the high health pool. And so we want to make that a little bit faster. We want to make it a little bit easier to clear out attackers' siege for defenders, you know, and make it easier for them to get on to the next thing that they want to be doing for defending, whether it's repairing gates, setting up more defensive siege, or what have you. So this hopefully is going to make that feel better. If those numbers seem a little bit out of whack, we can, again,
Wow,
as always,
supply costs
you know,
really
adjust them
getting
if we need
changed.
to. But this shouldn't
Especially
also
arrow
take
cards.
away
That's kinda
any
huge,
you know,
actually.
ability to be
Little siege
hitting
golem,
gates with
arrow
rams
cards,
because of the
arrow
iron hide
card.
applied when they are manned.
Interesting. Are superior arrow
And then,
cards
as I said
cheaper
earlier,
than
you
guild
can see
arrow
that the
cards?
supply
now?
costs for several pieces of siege have been adjusted. Guild siege golems, we felt just were a little bit too easy to get value from. They're
really
an
weird.
extremely strong,
Looking at
maybe the
guild arrow
strongest
cards.
piece of you know, offensive siege. And they have a very low supply cost, so we're just going to be bumping that up a little bit. That's just the average of both alpha golems and omega golems, so right in the middle there, which is
superior
nice.
Arrow cards are
And then we're
cheaper than
getting
guild
some
sub-
supply
arrow
cost
cards.
reductions
That's
on
weird.
several other pieces of siege. We feel that trebuchets and arrow carts are primarily strongest when it comes to defense. And so we want to make sure that those are a little bit easier to use
It's
for
just like
defense, especially
regular
given, you know,
trebuchets?
the recent changes we've
So
had,
confused.
where you have to put more supplies into walls and gates to actually rebuild them. There's going to be obviously a bigger drain of supplies there, so we want to make sure that, you know, having an objective have its proper defensive siege isn't going to cost you as many supplies.
Why are guild
Getting
arrow cards more
defensive siege back up after, you know, attackers have come through and maybe cleared some out isn't going to cost as much. You have more supplies to put in to those gates and walls if you need, or for whatever else you might need. So hopefully
probably
this will
just
feel
forgot
good
it. They must
for,
have.
you know, primarily we're looking at defenders with this, but again, we're going to be able to keep an eye on it, and as always, if need to be adjusted.
It's gonna be something, David.
I believe we can move on to the final slide, which actually wasn't really talked about in the main point there, unless, again, Hal or Tail, any comments? Tail, you've been, you know, being very patient. I appreciate it, you know.
On final slide, let's go.
Looks good.
Looks good. Oh, great.
I
All
will
right.
note. I will
seal of
note
approval
that
from Tail.
the note on golems, it says boons and things like super speed and stealth are not boons. Thus,
Correct.
you know, not included in this note.
That is correct.
Oh, can you
how are
no
your
longer do the
trebuchet skills
infinite,
in
like,
World War?
jump out of a
Are you gonna be
golem?
ready for the lower supply cost?
I mean, as a
didn't do
PvP
a
player,
thing as
I
a
don't
feat.
get why we can't just have like a circle. You know, you click where you want, then it moves itself. You know, pretty good system. So I'm trying
That would
to
be too easy. Way too easy. All right,
we can
moving on
fight
to
in the
the
shade.
final slide
I
here.
love it.
This is something, you know,
Ooh.
fun stuff. PvP is getting a lot of rewards. We felt a little bit bad about that, so we got some rewards here for World vs. World, specifically a new weapon set.
What's that about?
You'll notice that these do look a little familiar. They are going to be basically new versions of the hero and Mistforged hero weapons.
Okay with that.
This is a corrupted version, a demonic version, if you will.
Where's the spear?
Of
There's
that
the
weapon
spear.
set. That's the concept art there. You can see.
I think.
And so, we're just adding a new weapon set here to World vs. World. There's 2 ways to earn these weapons. One is going to be through get them through the Mishardened lockboxes, which were lockboxes that we added last year to World vs. World on a new vendor. The keys are on the new vendor. The lockboxes you get from doing achievements. And so you have a chance to get a weapon chest for these new weapons from those boxes. Important to note is that those versions of the weapons are exotic. They're still account bound, but they are going to be exotic. However, if you have a lot of World vs. World currencies, if you have some of those rare hero weapons from the hero weapon reward track saved up, or if you just have you complete some reward tracks, and you forge them together with a couple of various different World vs. World items, you can upgrade that hero weapon to its corresponding corrupted version.
I like the idea of you either start a hero or you live long enough to become a corrupted hero from being so salty in World vs. World.
Of the weapons. Kind of similar to how the hero's weapons and the Mistforged hero weapons have different rarities. They've got rare, they've got exotic, they've got ascended. We're going to be doing kind of a similar thing here, just different acquisition methods for those weapons.
Rifles,
but yeah,
middle,
once again,
middle bottom.
Not too much depth there with this. Just a new weapon set being added, a couple of different acquisition methods there for World vs.
Good
World.
job, guys.
I will say, because this would not be a proper Roy stream without it, this note is not here, but we are going to be updating some gathering nodes in World vs. World. Thank goodness.
Oh yeah.
Probably of course, the best change. An herb synthesizers, or herb synthesizers, depending on,
actual rewards, though, this time?
Are going to have a chance to drop the varietal seeds needed for
oh my
cooking.
God, thank you.
You will still need the requirements completed.
That's such a good change.
Just like you would in PvE versions.
Thank you, Jesus.
Achievements for sending cooking, but as you
actually,
travel across the borderlands, the mists, and you get those sweet herb synthesizers, you will have a chance to get those varietal seeds.
I am not memeing, chat. That's an amazing change. The ability to get ascended or seeds for ascended
yes,
food,
I believe
that's
that will wrap it up for the World vs. World changes as well. As we kind of mentioned before, not talking about balance for the stream, not necessarily really long stream, but you just get a lot of these changes in front of y'all. And as Cal mentioned at the beginning as well, we are going to be releasing these changes next week, which means we wouldn't necessarily have a ton of time to iterate on things, but we are looking for earlier feedback on what you're seeing here. Obviously, a lot of these changes are going to be things that need to be played with, especially with the World vs. World changes, which are relying on a lot of numbers. We're going to need to see how the live audience is playing with them.
Almost like he heard me.
But we are going to be looking for initial reactions to them. So please give your feedback on, as always, forums, Reddit, wherever, and we will be looking for that.
Why were people salty about that, Sergio? Just because it's rewards for a game mode they can't play?
I had the bug where I can't hear you for...
No. I'm just letting the silence go. I've wrapped up. I'm good to go.
That's my favorite part of doing a stream. It's like every once in a while the audio just cuts out for me and I can't hear anyone that's talking.
The audience cuts out for him. He can hear us.
I think that's something will
Oh
happen.
my God, he can hear us all the time.
Yep. All right.
I don't think I've ever used a mark
I don't know if you have
shard.
any final thoughts you want to give for the PvP changes you talked about already.
I mean, I just have a question. Do you guys 3v3 tournament is coming?
I'm busy.
I'm busy.
Oh.
You're busy
okay.
Every single time that it fires.
I think I'll have to check my calendar.
Anyone in chat want to join me? Triumphant Trio. We got this. Cal will come.
I'll do it.
Anyways.
Playing on a Bladesworn class that exists in this game technically.
Yeah, pretty good.
This is sweet, chat.
Cool. All right.
Thank you for pointing this out.
Cal?
I completely missed this.
No.
Sad they don't have new titles at the end of the stream.
All right, very good. Well, yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. Once again,
Cal
changes are coming out in just a week.
Hold on.
Next week. Oh, yes.
No, wait. You can finish your spiel and then I'll say something.
All right. I was just gonna say. With the balanced preview streams, we'll have the forum posts for all the changes that we've displayed here on the forums. But because these changes are coming out next week, and we're basically just copying the release notes here, you'll be able to see those on the release note pages next week. Those will be coming out. So there isn't going to be any forum posts specifically for this stream, but the VOD will be up, and I made sure, I double-checked that the audio is going to be there, so I don't think I made any spelling mistakes on this stream either. I don't think I messed up the slide, so I'm like hitting 100 right now, batting 100.
Let's go, guys. Wrap it up.
Cal,
We'll talk
please.
about this.
I'm
Got a
batting
chronomancer to do.
1,000. It's the 100%
100%.
average is actually really bad.
It is, yeah.
Throw that out there.
I'm terrible
I'm
at baseball.
minimizing this.
Oh, okay.
Do they talk for like
Actually
just
really
2 more
bad at
minutes just shooting this shit?
Ping pong.
Well,
Frisbee.
I'll check them.
Literal 30 seconds.
Those
nothing.
I can play. Anyway, Sarah, please.
I forgot what I was
hydrate
going to say,
chat.
actually.
Fair enough. Awesome.
Always
Taylor, do you have
done.
anything that you forgot to say? Or have you forgotten anything you wanted to say?
Well, I'm gonna say the line, and you said it's your line, but I'm gonna say
Great.
it first.
Take us out, baby.
So, get ready to queue for those new ATs, and we'll see y'all in the mist.
I couldn't have said it better myself, but I'm going to anyways. Thank you very much for watching and tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, short as it was. Make sure to give us your feedback
Before I
as
got on
always,
this
and
bed
we'll be
back
keeping an
there.
eye out for that. Changes will be coming
Oh,
next
yeah.
week.
Is that a
And
plush version of Cal?
Also, let us know if you guys like the type of stream. Like, we know that
Yes,
everyone likes
this
the
is
balanced
good.
streams, but you guys
Actually,
like the stream?
more communication,
I think it's pretty good.
more leeway or
But you
lead
can also
time,
give
but
that
more
feedback. If there's
communication.
anything that you want that you could see like improved in terms of the preview itself, not necessarily because of changes, that's something that we're also interested
Oh,
in
you could
because
fix
it's the
blades
first
more.
time that we've done this
That's
for
my suggestion.
non-balanced
Let's
changes.
go. Oh my
So
god,
keep that
this
in
is
mind.
awesome though, chat.
And until next time, we will see you in the mists.
If that's not the last thing I'm closing this stream, thank God. That was nuts. Okay, so shout out to chat for bringing that to my attention. A lot of good World vs. World PvP changes that I completely missed today, and apparently they got more stuff coming next week, so look out for it. Don't know if this will make it into a full edited video, but yeah, just about the only thing that I have questions about, and I really hope they iterate on if it's a problem, is you don't really get rewarded as much for playing in off hours, so it kind of feels crappy if you're like an OCX server, say on an NA, or in an OCX time slot on an NA server. But other than that, yeah, rewards for World vs. World, I'll always take it. This is sick. All right, cool. Let's jump back into World vs. World tonight. I managed to get the build going while we were watching that, and I'm Pseudo. This is Build Wars 2, and I'll see you guys in Tyria. Peace out. This rules. Look out for more next week. All right, let's jump back into it, chat. That was awesome. Thank you. There wasn't technically a thing wrong with the stream, but that was pretty cool. Like, for real. Let's get a new song going here. Let's get something hype. I'm just happy they remembered World vs. World exists. That's sick. Hopefully now that they've acknowledged that they... Wow, desert's open. No, hopefully now that they've acknowledged that they exist, right? Like, they'll be open to doing more stuff in the future? Why is the sky just darkness? Game? Game? Game. You guys see this, right? Okay. Desert is just broken. We may want to log out and log back in. I broke the matrix, chat. What do you guys think? The only thing, yeah, it's like, I don't know, Sergio. Like, what do you mean by Sergio? Oh, yeah, wait. I wait for this, and we're World vs. World needed that. Like, what are people ticked off about that like World vs. World is getting, or it's not getting the right stuff? Because I'd still love to see like Edge of the Mist brought back, actual gameplay stuff. Okay, all right, we have Fog of War, that's a little bit better. I don't know. I'll have to think about it and review the footage and whatnot, but that seems fine, right? I don't know if I could ever see this tower that far, actually. I don't know if they updated the draw distance. Like, it's not the best graphics card. I have a 3080, but that's interesting. I think my draw distance is messed up. Yeah, for real. We're all in the Matrix, Sergio. There's no the crazy thing about reality, just to, completely distort everybody, is there's no proof that we're not in a simulation. Because there's things like the uncertainty principle and the speed of light that would really limit the computational power if you get into, like, metaphysical psychology and science, that you would want to build into a simulation. If you were making one, that is. Anyway, no, this sounds awesome for World vs. World. World vs. World is the Matrix. So, let's see how that rolls. I guess I can enjoy the next few weeks of Bladesworn still being able to give alacrity before they completely invalidate it. But this is everything except for maybe the, distribution of points thing. I dig, kinda. It kind of, I mean, I understand wanting to actually have skirmishes matter in that regard. arrow card, I guess they'll nerf this cost, in my opinion. Do you like the arrow card nerf costs, or do you not, David? Do you already think they're too strong? Is that it? Because I could see that as well. Oh, this seems neat. And again, we are running sword tonight because spear is not out yet, but this build theoretically will run sword, or run spear, maybe rifle. I'm still figuring out my second weapon set on it, but we're having some fun, and it's good. The reason I wanted to try out rifle is A, I haven't really, and B, it's got cool stuff like this. Okay, good to know. If you blast that, you don't get the boons. You're a person. Hello. What are you? You look like a warrior. This one warrior like dumpstering everybody. Okay. Let's see if we can use rifle offensively, chat. Build has a little bit more tank to it than last time, so hopefully it won't just die. We'll see. I'm figuring out why people don't use Well of Calamity in World vs. World. He's super mobile for a Berserker. This is interesting. Hello. I did not know you could go in there. Where did you go, George? Alright. Maybe he glowed. He glitted. Definitely gonna need to find a balance and buy some more competition World vs. World. Right now, to win a matchup means nothing outside of hips, which usually mean hardcore World vs. World don't care. Yeah, it's interesting. Is he hacking? Guys, like, this dude's hacking. He's hacking. Might be. He is. We have him on stream, right, chat? Find out if people can use Well of Calamity successfully. Ow. That is not taking damage. He's hacking. Is he like... Definitely running defense discipline berserker, that's for sure. Very tanky. Be surprised if it's full Trailblazers gear. Well of Calamity is interesting because it does a metric buttload of damage on the last tick. You have to hit somebody with it. So I thought I'd throw it in the build and see how it does. May have to switch to something that's a little bit more reliable to take this guy down. That might. Alright, I want to see if he's actually hacking. Hang on, chat. Hold on to your butts. Switch here. We match up against? I can look in a second. Blue cost is a lot powerful, and a lot of people only camp arrow cards and towers. Well, I don't know. Maybe they'll add other things to counter arrow cards now, like a lot of the things that didn't have path tracking before, like Hollow 5, Shockwave, and Torch used to not obey pathing, so they would go up walls and such. Interesting, right? Let's see if this guy's really hacking. I know I promised Chronomancer, but I'm too curious. I don't know. Somebody said he was. He ran past me, so I want to see. I'm iterating on the Chrono build. It's probably not very good right now. It's definitely not very good without Spear, but I want to see what's up with this Berserker. Okay. Interesting. Ow. Definitely got a build, that's for sure. Oh, he is hacking. Look at my projectiles, like, not hitting him. That's interesting. Not shield master either. Maybe it was just lag? I don't know. Yeah, this is some sketchy shit. There's Defiance stance. I don't think he's hacking. I think he's just got weird ping. It doesn't seem like hacking to me. Yeah, he's just got really weird ping. He knows his jump spots. He's also running like all of the toughness gear you can find. Imagine hacking Guild Push 2. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that do. Hey Shocktify, what's up? See if the guy said this Berserker's hacking, so I switched to something I'm not testing. Wanted to see. I think he's attacking. I think he's just jump dodging with weird ping. Hold very good. Like Nomad's gear or something. Oh, maybe his health. Regenning a whole lot. Yeah, something might be up with his health, because he doesn't have that many stacks of adrenal health. He doesn't have regen. Getting barrier from the stance trait. Nice, dude. Yeah, you gotta save up gold to list it. He's got the double projectile bounce. I doubt I'll be able to kill this guy. Ooh, that was sketchy. I used that forever ago. What if he's running like Nomad's gear or something? There we go. You got me. That's a lot of health regen he has. It's interesting. Definitely interesting. Use the overflow trading Discord. Very interesting. Who are we up against? Let's see. As Yulholm Haven, I guess. He whispered me good fight. I'll ask him how he's regenerating so much health. Ow. People who are hacking don't usually whisper good fight. I'll ask. No, that's cool. People don't know warriors, so like that makes sense. No, it was sketchball, but like it's interesting. It's definitely defense discipline warrior, and there's ways to do it. So if you want to hack in a video game, that's your prerogative. But it is what it is, I suppose. He's gonna gatekeep his build. Fair, I suppose. Those be like nomad's gear or something. With swords, this time testing other builds with the same results. What do you mean by SB? No, it was nuts. I'm glad they're updating World vs. World. It'd be sick. Oh, Spellbreaker. Interesting. No worries, David. Just trying to, like, figure out what that means for the future of World vs. World and PvP for this game. I don't know, man. I'm just glad they mentioned PvP at all, right? Kind of, like, explodes my tiny ape brain. Oh, man. Yeah, sorry, Tat. We're supposed to be trying out Chronomancer tonight, so I guess I'll, edit down the VOD and stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Our Reaper builds and only 4 out of those 3 Reapers was in a small group. Yeah, I don't know. I can try to make you a Reaper build, Sergio, if you want. Fight something I want to see. I fight something on Chrono poorly. I was fighting that Berserker on Chrono and doing incredibly poorly, but he also didn't take damage. I'm interested, especially with Sea Monster wanting to like beef up Reaper Sergio. I think it'd be cool. All right, let's get some supply chat. Are you enjoying Ellie though, Sergio? Because that plays very differently than Reaper. Alright, let's go take something, chat. Can't even get 20 from that. See what we can do here. I'm trying out Chrono. Clearly Well of Calamity needs some setup, but maybe with the spear we'll be able to get it off. Let's go take that camp. South. Oh, thank you for the follow, Coco Char. Choco Char, appreciate it. No, if you guys enjoyed that, I'll edit it into a video. I'm just sitting here trying to process like what this means for the future of World versus World as far as like actually doing meaningful shit. 'Cause here's the thing, chat. Like things like siege costs, kind of like David mentioned, can seem like small changes, but they can actually end up having big ramifications for the game mode as a whole. Like increasing or decreasing the amount of cost, like I'm sure you guys know this, like a arrow card has, can mean that objectives consequently are like more easy to defend or less easy to defend, or you can just like set up siege easier with the siege that's available, so that there will be more hazards for like even roamers to like try to take towers and stuff. It's gonna be interesting. Told you before, you have the heart of support, not a fighter. You just need a Reaper support build, Sergio, and you'll be good. Let's see what we can do with this rifle here. Alright, so if you let it blast, it does not give you that portal. You can't like take yourself, right? Yeah, you can take it, but it doesn't matter. So is what it is, I suppose. Rifle's very weird. Very, very a support weapon. Almost no mobility on it. I almost want to take staff as an offhand weapon. Like, it seems so strange. This is so... yeah, this isn't going to be the weapon for us, but we'll give it a shot. Give healing bullets a shot tonight. I also want to try Phantasmal Disenchanter to see if that can give us a little bit more coverage as far as like phantasms spawning. But the one thing we did learn from that fight is the Conde Cleanse on this version is much, much better. So we have found a solution for that at least. I have to work on my Omni Slash setups for Spear. Sword plays nothing like it, but this is the best analog I have right now. What are you guys preparing? Like, what are you excited to try? As far as like, you know, prepping, we probably might get a balance patch with the new expansion, but I guess we'll see. I don't really know. Definitely be interesting to see what they tweak up or down as far as like staying relevant or not relevant while spears are out. Hey Ghostly, what's up? It might be. I technically stream sometimes. I'm alone in the dark. I actually had to turn off all my lights, so I am alone in the dark. It's hot here. Million degrees. It's disable out of stealth. So the thing that iCover was noticing when he was testing the stealth spear thing on Ranger is that as soon as you use that ambush skill, the one that dazes while you're in stealth, it reveals you. So it reveals you and then you do the leap. So there's an actual chance that they might dodge it, but maybe that'll be changed by release. I don't know. It seems weird that thieves would get like some kind of disable out of stealth while Rangers would be left in the dark, as it were, as far as that goes. But I guess we'll see, right? Let's see what... one guy is probably still on desert, but we could try. EBG queued. I kind of want to go help. Let's change this up to disenchanter. The thing I'm wondering, chat, is there a way to make this more dually? Because we clearly made the build more sustainy than it was last time. But I'm still trying to get to that, like, dueling chrono where it still does damage. So we're going to have to work on our might generation and power levels. Because I know people usually just go all or nothing with it, right? It's basically just a one-shot nuke glass cannon thing. Oh yeah, the new Jaguar stealth is crazy to me. Does the pig with the stealth forage, does that still technically have a lower cooldown than the Jaguar stealth? Because I think the Jaguar is 35. I'm not sure if the pig is technically less. It's just more of a hassle that you have to pick up the bundle. Which would make sense to me, but I think it's also an AoE stealth, so I'm not really sure. The crazy thing about that Jaguar ball, by the way, is I don't know if they changed it, but before, when it stealthed, its F2 ability, Stalk, or whatever it was called, would actually stealth the Jaguar, and then it would attack out of stealth, like, without revealing it. How do I feel about rifles so far? I feel like it's very much a support weapon. I was really hoping I could do things like this to give myself Fury and Boons, and then switch to, like, the offensive set, but it doesn't seem that way, Maddie. I'm also lamenting not really having much mobility on my weapons, but we'll see. We'll see. Called it. Yeah, pretty much. It's a support weapon. The 5 is basically useless, right? You know, it gives you resistance and barrier, and I can't even take my own singularities. So that's a big hit. It's pretty much like the function of... I like the distance marker on it, though. I kind of wish they'd add that for Portal. It's kind of like the function of rifle is just to be annoying with the 5. Seems like it's extremely good for PvP, though. Probably helping people rotate and stuff without sacrificing a utility slot to the PvP rotation gods. That seems amazing. I think it's also interesting that you can summon a bunch of... Where is it? Like, if this mosquito lives through this. Like, you can summon a bunch of clones that are, like, healy clones, and then you can sit on the mosquito, and theoretically, if I had any health missing, the clones would be, like, healing me, right? Because they're still auto-attacking with the rifle. Like, it's really, really, really slow, but it's something you can technically do, and I think that's really cool. So I really like the auto-attack, I guess. The auto-attack is cool. That's cool. The names for the skills are dope. This is pretty good. So, like, stun bullet. Is that an AoE? Oh my god, that's an AoE. The stun bullet's very good. No mobility on it, but also I'm a mesmer, so I have this nonsense, right? I just don't know if it'll fit with our, like, in and out dually build that I'm going for with Spear, you know? Give it a shot. More positive song, because I'm genuinely super stoked on these changes, man. Like, so Jin's Dominion, they're clearly changing the objectives. They probably won't be super relevant, but I suppose we'll see. Ow. Ow. Oh, there's a renegade too. Well, I'm dead. I'll give it a shot. I will try to live. Probably will not. Seems unlikely. Chances seem slim, chat. No, I was gonna try spear rifle. Like rifle and spear. I was gonna swap in the actual, like, spear is listed on the builder now. It should be in the description silhouette. I'm really excited for spear on Chrono. I think you're gonna be able to do some really cool Omni / shenanigans with the 4 and whatnot. But we'll have to see on that. I just figured I'd try something else. And I've always wanted to be good at Chrono, but I want to build one that's more dually and less one-shot. So most of these builds I'm debuting will need to be iterated on and suck balls for a while. But that's what build crafting's for. I was hoping I could get some of the support boons, like the Fury and stuff, from the rifle, because it's like the only weapon that gives you Fury. But that seems very sketch. I may have to just go full on... Because Relic of the Midnight King isn't very reliable either. Because I really don't want to run the Days Mantra, but again, the problem I have with Mesmer, whether it's Mirage or Chrono or whatever is a lot of the power on Mesmer. I mentioned this last stream, which will be back up on Friday if you missed it. Sorry about that. Is so much built around having Mantra of Distraction in your kit that I feel like it really hamstrings a lot of the rest of the kit. So, we'll see. I'm just trying stuff for tonight. I don't like how you hold the rifle. That's for sure. Posture needs work. Hello, would you like to fight? Fight me. Cat nonsense. I'm back here. I have a feeling that if I do lean into the like more dually side, I'm gonna have to go like actually dueling, and then because dueling has the highest clone generation outside of maybe inspiration with like a healing mantra, go full on dodge clone generation and the signet that refreshes your shatters. We'll see. See what we can do with it. Just trying out stuff tonight. I hadn't really played around with rifles since the beta, so figured I'd give it a shot, and I know it's good in PvP. Spear's really interesting to me, not only because of the actual skills on it, but because of all the finishers they gave it. It has a whirl, a leap, and a blast. Person, I want to help. Mobilized him. I can at least do that. Get him. Yeah, got him. Mind that there were like 5 of us, not including my illusions. The 4 is good. Having a stun on 1200 range, that's pretty good. And that double casts on Chrono because of Chrono Phantasma, right? Yeah, you have some lockdown potential with like all the stuns and stuff on this. Doubly so when Spear comes out. Oh, I thought it was a firebrand. I was like, how does he have rocket boots? Yeah, fair enough. Interesting. The second shatter from split second, right, it just goes off again. It doesn't generate a second portion of alacrity, I don't think. So weird, you generate basically no alacrity unless you take the trait for it. I miss when Wells gave alacrity, that was kind of cool. I don't know, Maddie, you play a lot more Mesmer than I do these days. You got any secret Mesmer tech for me? I'm definitely taking suggestions on this. I'm loving Mimic, though. Mimic's a really cool trade-off. Can't get him. Really, really tragic. Yeah, and the bullets do not do much damage, obviously. They are healy bullets. Don't greed. Yeah, fair enough. It definitely doesn't have as much mobility as, like, Sword Mirage or something like that with the leaps, so you gotta be careful. That is good advice, though. Ooh, we have some red coming. This is kind of a cool brawl. I like this area. Disenchanter doesn't seem to be doing much. Apparently I looked it up, and Arcane Thievery used to be like the goat of utility skills, but they changed it so you have to actually face your target. So there has to be like this 180-degree thing. You can't just throw it over your shoulder anymore, which is kind of disappointing. It also used to give super speed with the trait, but they seem to have removed that sometime in the last like 8 years. So Arcane Thievery, good, but again, you have to face the thing. I got shot. Oh well. Protected Mirage. Yeah, and I played a bunch of Mirage. I just trying out this nonsense. So Arcane Thievery. Take all this guy's boons. Ability. Thinks he has. I like Arcane Thievery. Ah! I also like having a get the F out button. Very cool. Alright, we're figuring out what works and what doesn't. What are my stab skills? Like things that give me stability? Nothing, man. Very little stability. I need more might generation as well, that's for sure. I was thinking about taking the F4 stun breaks trait, but I don't know if that's super feasible. Dude, I love the 4 on the rifle, though. That's going to be hard to give up. Stealth stomping? No. Your F1 is a might skill? If I trusted it. I have the other trait that gives like might when you're phantasm, because I'm trying to make like a phantasm build, because spear is kind of crazy and summons 4 phantasms and can be reset on the 4, so seeing what I can do there. I think I'm gonna need way more stealth is what I'm feeling. I'm probably gonna have to go like dagger torch or dagger shield. Thinking about Relic of the Defender as well. Yeah, the problem with taking that trade is you have to give up the one that when phantasms become clones, they give, what's it called? They give might, and they gain damage based on how much might you have. And the whole idea is summon a bunch of spear phantasms over and over. Thievery's not bad as far as utility skills go. Food ran out already. Gotta remember I have an F5 skill at some point. That would probably help, huh? Get him. Takes a while to summon the phantasm, though, to be fair. Oh, nope. He's invisible. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not hating Arcane Thievery as far as a boon strip slash what's it called? Utility? Time cleanse. See how practical it is in actual fights when we're not like completely outnumbering everybody, but oh, I have no underwater skills. This is going to be a problem. What's my Chrono Phantasma? Because the idea is the Spear 4 will be able to summon 4 phantasms in each one, or 2 phantasms in each one will resummon itself. So again, we don't really have an analog for that. But I'm really excited for Spear when it comes out, because I'm going to be switching the swords to Spear. It's in the builder. It should be in the description as well on YouTube. I can't add it to Twitch. I keep trying to update the Twitch VOD descriptions, and Twitch just won't do it. I don't know why. I've tried character count. I've tried like text formatting. I've tried like what I'm copying and pasting, everything. It just doesn't go. This poor fucking druid here keeps abandoning his Reaper friend. They're having fun. Yeah. A fun little theory crafting thing of something I don't play and I always want to do. not loving rifle, but maybe there's an analog to the stun bullet. That's really the only thing I super duper love on it. I'm pretty comfortable with staff, especially since I played a buttload of Condi Mirage. But especially, and staff has like the pseudo stun break, so I might go Relic of the Warrior staff and then take a different trait line than inspiration. I really like inspiration because, again, Chrono Phantasma, but we'll see how applicable that actually is when Fear comes out. Ah, want to be here. I love the just I don't want to be here button that you have with Blink. It's so good. Yeah, again, sorry guys that the VOD got pulled on Monday. It was 2 songs and it was an issue with the... Because I did try turning monetization on. I hoped that I could just turn it off for streams, but it doesn't really let you turn monetization off for streams, and it does some funky stuff with like what songs will show up as DMCA'd or not. So I couldn't actually tell which song that got me flagged, so I just removed it. Again, no longer monetized. I just wanted to try it for a week and see what would happen. So I made like 60 cents. Thank you everybody who watched ads for a week and toughed it out, and we'll try it again in the future maybe, and then I can throw that money back into a pot. But it was a good suggestion, Silhouette. Important to try things in life. Because as far as videos go, I would love to just monetize those, because you're right, there's no downside to doing that really if ads are already going to show. But I don't want to create a worse experience for people on streams, and if that means people can't see the streams, that's a worse experience. So we're going to be sticking with this for a little bit. I was thinking about going all Phantasms as well. I do also find it kind of weird that there's no elite skill Phantasm at this point. Kinda neat. You know? Oh my god, we got like a month till Janther Wilds releases. It's kinda nuts. I tried Gravity Well a little bit, and I didn't super love it, so I think I'm gonna stick with Mass Invis. It just seems like way more value in World vs. World. Like, same cooldown, 10 target, Invis. And is a staff Spellbreaker. We are never killing him. I really wanted to make Well of Calamity work, but it's way too small in AoE for people to actually get hit by it. Like, the delay on it's fine, it's just way too small in AoE. Alacrity, get this stealth off. Maybe I can save that guy. Save you. Not working. It has not worked out. 50-50 Mass Invis for Gravity Well. Now that Moa got nerfed, I'd assume. Even the passive, like taking Moa for the passive doesn't seem that bad. And the inspiration trait that, what's it called? Gives you distortion on Signet Press doesn't seem that bad either. You just have to like build Signets for it. Real combo is distortion also cleanses conditions with chaos, I know that much. Or the one in Mirage if it still exists where distortion gives you ambushes. But like I said, I think we may have to move to that, even though I'm really liking what's it called? Arcane Thievery right now. All of the stealth durations on Mesmer are really short. I know there's the one trait that no one takes except me and Chaos on like my weird Condi Mirage build, but that extends stealth duration for some reason still. It's weird they haven't rolled that in as well. And I know that's ultra good for Mass Invis and basically mandatory for Veil, because Veil's like 2 seconds or something, but weird. I'm liking this gear setup a lot more, though. I definitely couldn't touch that Condi Berserker, but I was also not dying to his Condis as much. Granted, there were like 8 people fighting him. No, I wouldn't be astonished if he was running like the Condi cleanse thing, like cleansing a Condi heals you thing. Definitely a lot of barrier from the stances. The red people. Let's think here, chat. If we're not running rifle, what we're gonna run as our offhand. If spear's our main damage weapon, we're gonna need either a defensive or utility combination, which leaves either sword torch or like dagger shield. And torch is okay, but the phantasm doesn't do a ton for this build, although it is, you know, a decent phantasm. Ow. What is shooting me? Dredge turret? Ow. Definitely leaning more toward either staff or dagger shield. Because I've fought power builds that use staff as well. The thing is, this is a power build, and staff doesn't usually offer a ton of like stuff for a power build. But again, if I take a like relic of the warrior or something, it won't be the worst thing. Someone's attacking this gate. Ah, never mind. Staff is definitely a very good, because the 2 is basically a stun break. It doesn't actually stun break you, but it just like puts you somewhere else, which is pretty good. I fought this one, it was like greatsword, staff, or power virtuoso in PvP, and because the dude like knew his scaling or spacing really well, and because both are what is it, 1200 range weapons, I just couldn't get close to the dude. He would just like space me out too well. I'd like to think my Mass Invis helped there. Mass Invis is way too much value if you're on Zergs though. Just like half the Zerg disappears. The thing with Dagger is it doesn't bring a ton other than just kind of high clone generation. Rifle. Try to save this guy. Never used Mass Invis. Yeah, I mean, Gravity Well's good lockdown. Still doesn't do damage, right? It didn't, like... Okay, yeah. 900? That's the range on Wells on this class? 900. Yeah. Some of the stuff on Mesmer has weird ranges. Like, I think Feedback's 12, yeah. Feedback's 12, Nullfield's 9, Veil is 9, no, Portal is whatever. Portal's actually more in PvP, it's interesting. I was almost thinking Axe Shield, but that limits me to melee pretty hard. Have you found success with Dagger on anything other than Mirage, Maddie? Like, the 3 doesn't do very much damage as far as I can see. All the power budget seems to be in the ambush. Yeah, Daze is too much of it. It does Condi's, Daze, like everything. One poor guy. He's a Berserker, though. He'll get away. Got Speed Relic. Axe shield's really fun to play. Yeah, the blink has the break targeting thing on it. Or the Axe 3. Axe 3 and 2 are decent power damage is the thing. The 1 just sucks because it's like all torment. So it would be okay clone generation because they nerfed the cooldown on it recently. That's why I'm kind of like leaning toward it. Suppose we could try that and see how it rolls tonight as well. We are here doing nothing. Is a theory crafting stream after all. I almost wish there was some kind of fury generation on Axe specifically. I think that would be kind of neat. All right, let's give this a shot. We tried healing bullets. They're all right. Shield. Let me look at my stats here, chat. Really? What would this be? Security? I don't know if I love that. You know what I think I might do, actually, is not do energy on this, and do, where is it, vision. Although vision would be much better on spear, technically, because something funky you can do that I used to do on even my Condi builds that had like Selly gear was these two, because they do decent power damages, you can pop both when you know, after you switch to Axe. So I'm kind of used to playing with it a little bit. Generosity, strength, that's fine for now. What is this? Vision and purity? Okay. Just have more limited dodges. But a shot. That's not the worst mobility skill. It's definitely not a real mobility skill, but it's not the worst as far as spacing goes. And Astral Aria just looks so cool. Mirage, basically made for it. Oh, it's a... Aside from the time gate on it as well, Astral Aria I thought was a pretty fun collection to do. There's a pretty aggressive time gate with the vending machine, and you have to park a character there to really get it. Because it's behind a hidden wall that's only available after the Chalk Urant meta or something. But other than that, Astral Aria is a really good collection, I thought. Like the having to go chart all the stars and stuff. I thought it was... I swear it was like way more when Heart of Thorns came out, Maddie. I'm pretty sure it was way more. I'm pretty sure it was at least 22 days when Heart of Thorns came out. They might have nerfed it. I know they've nerfed a lot of those. I could be wrong. 100% I could be wrong. But they've nerfed a lot of those time gates. Look at the graphics on the shatters as well, chat. Look at this shit. Distortion's just the same. What's this one look like? Nothing? Huh. 22 is Aurora? Okay. I swear Astral Aria is like 21 when it came out, but again, I could be wrong. Have to correct me. Hopefully this doesn't get DMCA'd too hard. This is kind of an experiment to see what I can monetize or what I can actually stream as far as music goes and what I can't. Ever-evolving list of things I can and can't stream, chat. I'm working on the song ticker. I was waiting on Spectrum to see if I would have actual upload speed, and of course I don't. Now it's by the end of this year, even though it was the 9th, so... Little brief pseudo aside, yeah, upload speed with Spectrum's a lie. They keep kicking the can down the road. But one day, and then I'll have be able to stream with a face cam, and it'll be great. And it will be cake. Yeah, these are pretty. Like, it's kind of awesome, honestly. Like you're breaking time around yourself. Getting up close. That's so cool. Ine can do good effects when they care, man. It's crazy. Some of the new effects, especially on the spear for like mesmer and stuff, are nuts. And again, you can turn all this garbage down if you're an allied player or an enemy player, so very good compromise. This game is so fantastic with stuff like that, honestly. It's so cool that now that there's all these options that they've gradually added over time. A lot of other games, you have to remember, Chad, a lot of other games, especially with the games industry is would have charged for, being able to turn particle effects down, as scummy as that is. To a Guild Wars 2 player, that would sound like complete heresy. So, don't take it for granted that we get a lot of quality of life updates for free. Ah. Remember when Tides of Time wasn't an actual stun? It was like a weird freeze in place debuff thing? I remember that. Yeah, the very new animations are incredibly solid. I think they got a lot of people when they absorbed that other like weird ANET studio thing with the, Guild Wars 3 hubbub that happened. I think they got a lot of animators, and I think it's going to be for the better of this game, because I think a lot of the crap in Gen 3 Wilds is going to be absolutely gorgeous. That. This man's got sword. He moving. He moving, chat. Ah. That's not what I wanted. Not at all. Ah, I'm super dead. Maybe more stealth, right? Oh, it's so player-friendly, Maddie. And again, like I say, it may not ever have the highest population at once, which is what gets a lot of the press. But as far as staying out of the press, I think Guild Wars 2 really does a good job, especially these days. Like, a lot of the press is just, negative, or the developers, kicked a kitten or whatever. And I think for all of its weaknesses, even if the classes that I love don't get love all the time, it's such a player-friendly MMO to be able to drop into and then, drop out of and play other things without risking killing the game, from a development standpoint of having players doing that or degrading your experience, Really interesting. You're an animator yourself. Cool, Ball. I've been trying to learn how to draw, and that's no easy feat, so I can't imagine what animating's like. Very cool. I'm slowly teaching myself how to draw, and as somebody who always loved art but is very artistically challenged, I get it. Oh my god, chat, this might be a trivia question. Can anyone name what this buff is? It's called Arcane Spark. It's on his bar. He has 4 stacks of it. Anybody, it's not an actual question, but does anyone, fun trivia question, know what that actually does? Here's a hint. Anyone can get it. Well, I guess technically anyone can get everything. That's a bad hint. Typical pseudo trivia question. Arcane Spark. It's a buff you can get on your bar. He currently has 4 stacks of it. It's a fun thing to see who's paying attention. Awful as a stun break. It was okay. I almost want to run mirror images. I really don't want to run dueling just for the clone generation, but I might have to. It is Arcane Spark is the buff that you get when you have a glyph of, I can't remember the name, but it gives you stacks. And then when you get to 10, like whenever you harvest a thing, and then when you get to 10 stacks, you can press a special action that you get to give yourself like bonus harvesting for the next like 10 harvests you do. It's the weirdest thing, especially because if you like equip it and then get the stacks for, they might have fixed it, but they just didn't go away even if you equipped a new glyph. Oh, I hope I can scrub that information out of my brain one day. Useless Guild Wars 2 information, man. I mean, there's so many better glyphs, like Glyph of Industry, or you could just get the one that gives you bonus crap. It might be worth it now with, like, the volatile things, although the just chance for bonus harvest seems way more worth it now for those. I might get some of those, honestly, and put them in my, what's it called, tools? The harvesting tools. The other one I wanted to make like some kind of assassin soul beast thing, prepping for Gen 3 Wilds. Soul beast man, if you'd like to fight, do the chrono thing and not be fair. Ah, he's going over there. He does not want to fight. I think he blew a lot of his cooldowns chasing that one guy. I will say, if I use Blink initially, I'm fucked, so I have to remember to use Mimic. Oh, that's only 10 seconds. Goddamn. Alright. Tough. Probably gonna go with torch. Axe torch maybe on a power build. Some sus. Ow. Oh, I used the wrong shatter. I'm not a Condi build. Damn. My fault. Arcane Thievery ripped all his boons, though, pretty well. Wow, that has a year-long cast time. Good to know. Oh, it's a second Willbender? Sick. There's always two. It can't just be one Willbender that's trying to kill you. Almost got away. It's literally one of each color. Oh, one's a Guardian. Fair enough. Not even a Willbender. Ow. Gonna let me live? Let's see. Mechanist seems determined. Nope. Fair enough. Ah! No, res me ally. Oh, well, rip war score. They both got credit for that. That was kind of cool. Oh, man. Nice ball. That's sick. I always had huge respect for Monty Ohm. Dude that like started my passion in anime and animation. Back before Rooster Teeth was even Rooster Teeth. We talked about this a bunch. That's sick. Don't worry about it. I'm sure he's only worked on like Captain Marvel and amazing movies. Avengers. I heard that like all of Captain Marvel's hair, even when she's not in like her super form, is CGI, which I'd believe. I also heard it takes a day to render a frame of like one of those Disney movies with the supercomputers they have going, which I would also believe. Our friend who works on like, that's saying too much, like the back end distribution of that shit. Cool guy. Monty was great, and he was a huge loss. First 3 seasons of RWBY that he worked on was one of my favorite things that people have created. Did work on Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and that's funny. I know a friend who was interning for like the post-production, one of the houses that did like the post-production for that stuff. So I'd be talking about a Disney movie that's coming out, and he's like, yeah, I worked on that. It's already done. And he'd be like, oh, cool. There's so much that goes into that. It's nuts. That's very cool, though. Yeah, one of the reasons I really do like Vanguards of Ascension is we get a lot of people who have like crazy careers and lives and stuff. So we've got a bunch of like lawyers and doctors and animators and stuff. So if you, chances are, if you have a question, somebody in the guild, like we get a lot of normal people like me that just do GUI design and stuff too. But chances are somebody in the guild can probably answer it, which is pretty sick. Yeah, you're probably not allowed to tell anybody anything real, so. Definitely gonna need some more raw power for this build. Feeling it, Mr. Krabs. History of language of Russian? Well, you'll need that. Hopefully not, but maybe. The thing about, I've been learning more about like different countries' credit rules, and like Japan for the longest time could just have like whatever in their credits, especially for video games. So you'd get people just like picking random US nouns, you know, like glitchhop chicken beard and stuff. And no one would, especially for a lot of these OG Japanese developed games for like Capcom and stuff, for Mega Man, no one would know who these people are who did amazingly influential work. So they wouldn't be able to get a hold of them or like prove that they'd worked on a thing. It's such a weird industry. People would pick like Cloud as their name and stuff. Just funny. Twitch for DM reasons. No worries, dude. It's cool. We have no offense. I'm not trying to diminish your work or anything, but we have a lot of people in the guild who are pretty smart and have done pretty cool things. I've seen some of it. One of my friends has He has a friend. One of my friends who has, this is gonna sound super fake. One of my friends has a friend that does like the official like promo marketing stuff for basically what I would like to do if I ever got hired by someone like a Disney publishing or marketing house. So they have access to like the official fonts for a lot of the posters, and he had sent me like this mock-up that he did with the official font of like Mandalorian, half man, half DeLorean, but it's like all official and looks like a real poster. And I was like, dude, can I print this? He's like, not legally, but go for it. Oh my god, there's another one he sent me with like for Oppenheimer, and it was like, it said Oppenheimer, and then it's like, his name is your name too, like the old John Jacob Jingleheimer thing, but it's, again, it's in the official font, so it's like really funny. I love crap like that where people are just like, you know what, I have a sense of humor about this, let's do it. All right, we need to go to a real Borderland, chat. See if we can go find that berserker again. Go find what this guy's running. Good job calling out that stream though, chat. I might waylay this stream and put the other one up on the channel because I think it's finally done uploading. Thank you, Spectrum. And then this stream can come out Friday, I suppose. Just throw everyone off. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, like, even if the movies suck or the people, you know, don't have a sense of humor who make them, I like that some people do, and that's fun to me. Also, Astralaria, look at these footprints, dude. I really don't... Like, I like Kamal Kataki, the spear, which I'm probably butchering the name of. I really like it. I don't know if I'm going to want to use it on my Mesmer, because I like the footprints and the animations are beautiful, but I don't know how jazzed I am to just be, like, wielding a shark on a Mesmer, although the colors fit, I guess. What else could we try here, chat? I'm really not loving any of the off options, because spear felt really good. And all of the other weapon options I have just don't feel as good. I may have to... Let's try dagger. I mean, let's just try stuff at this point, right? That's what build crafting's all about. Try a dagger torch now that I'm out in the open and gonna get jumped by 3 people. Security, I believe. I still think that, like, day 1 they're gonna have the OG spear in the Wizard's Vault, but again, I could be wrong about that. It just doesn't make sense to me that they wouldn't do that. Get people playing the game. Must Fashion Wars. Must Fashion Wars harder. Do I have a glitch torch? I don't. I have this thing, though, that I never use. I never use half of the cosmetics I have, chat. Use some of this weird crap. Oh, but this torch is so cool. And I never use that one either. Let's use that. We have fashioned worst. Greatsword? I could try pistol. That's true. And pistol would make up for the not having a stun that I was complaining about on rifle. That's a decent idea. I never use pistol in my builds. Is the dueling trait with pistol worth it? Where it like it adds like bleeding to pistol attacks and phantasm attacks, and then like recharges based on... I feel like I would need to run the interrupt mantra, which I'm not going to do because I have a human soul with pistol to make it worth it. Are there other... I guess what I'm asking is, are there other good interrupts other than the Daze mantra? It seems like all of the interrupts are like that. What's torch invis? 3 seconds. All the invis on Mesmer is so little. Dagger's not sucking. Dagger is ultra not sucking. Not the best, but it's not sucking. Hero nerp. It's just the Daze mantra, huh? They leverage all the power there. Kind of gross. Decent amount of slow when you use the 3. Is the resummoning 1 clone thing worth it on Chrono, Maddie? Like if I have 3 in Shatter, it resummons 1. Do you think that's very worth it if I'm not running the support build? Sorry, I'm asking you a lot of questions. You're probably trying to like off tonight or relax or whatever. I haven't played anything other than Mirage that's purple in forever, so it's helpful. Master 3. Is Master 3 the improved alacrity thing? Don't you... I mean, I don't have... What's it called? I don't have the wells give... or the summons give alacrity thing, so is it still worth it? Because I thought... Improved alacrity, at least mathematically, it improves your alacrity to 35%, right? And then decreases its duration by 33%. So I thought that was a net decrease of like... Oh, I can't do math. It's too late. A net decrease of like 19%, isn't it? Recharge time, it's only like really good in PvE where you have constant alacrity. Am I wrong about that? Am I reading the tooltip wrong? I was actually thinking the critical chance one, like critical chance against slowed enemies, and then trying to find other ways to get slow, like maybe time warp or something. Time warp's technically unblockable. It just got a really long cooldown. Like this AoE, kinda big. I think I can continuum split it, right? Granted, they have to stand in it. It is an ethereal field, which will give you a leap finisher on the spear. No, that's not value compared to Invis. There's no way. Okay, fun question. This is a fun question. This is like trivia night. Maddie, Signet of Humility reduces the duration of incoming stuns, dazes, and fears and taunts. So hard CCs, very specific hard CCs. That doesn't apply to your phantasms, correct? Because if that applies to... Okay. Does your food apply to phantasms? Probably not as well because there's summons, basically, right? Because what I was thinking is if there's some kind of, like, dazed decreasing food, then you could get more value out of Chrono Phantasma. Again, this is all the, like, weird build crafting crap I think about. Yep, no? Okay. Good. And back in the day, all of this was, like, impossible because even through Path of Fire, in case you didn't know, chat, or have lived under a rock for most of your life, or just don't understand how to read like me, this was really unclear. Like, their tooltips were way worse back in the day. It was like summoning an illusion does this, and then it would mean like a phantasm, even though it said illusion, and you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, Mesmer especially, when I tried to play it originally, none of the tooltips were good. It was just like, what is this game? Oh my god. Oh my god, they changed the ammunition, or did I accidentally do that? I accidentally did that. I'm so guys, okay. I'm not going to do this. I have harassed him enough by messaging him once already, but Roy invited me a while ago to send him my entire Bladesworn write-up, or at least asked what was wrong with Bladesworn, and I DM'd it to him, because he gave me his Discord. I don't know if that was a good idea on his part or not, but I'm so tempted to poke him and be like, well, we were just talking, and I was on like a 0 to hero character, and I was like, dude, is Bladesworn just ever gonna get fixed? And he was like, what's wrong with it? And I sent him the whole thing. And whether he read it or whether they care, whether it's a priority, that's a completely different discussion. Again, I'm not the main character of existence, but he said and asked me for it in game, so I feel like comfortable sharing that. I'm so tempted to poke him again on Discord and be like, yo, thanks for nerfing Bladesworn again. I appreciate it. With the alacrity change. Oh my god. I'm not going to do that, to be fair. Again, please do not harass these people. They have enough people screaming at them on the forums, which is not productive at all. But that would be so funny, especially with how much of a light troll that he is. So I think it'd be pretty good. Welcome to episode 46 of Pseudo here. Catapulting this wall. Pistol would probably fit with dagger as well because it's like 1200 range, right? Alright. Give pistol a shot in a bit. I'm gonna play time lapse for the entire time I'm catapulting this wall. Remember to hydrate, chat. Oh, why didn't you spring for a guild catapult? We're almost there. Nope. Perfect. See, Sergio, my dark side killed my light side a really long time ago. Like, they already had that argument, and the light side went off to, like, build houses in Nambia, and the dark side has just, you know, progressively gotten softer. So, I don't have a light side. The dark side is the one saying I want to, but I won't. Tempted. Very tempted. Trying to think what else really has, like, because it's clearly not because of Bladesworn. Like, anything else that gives Alacrity in World vs. World, I do like the approach of just solving the problem where Alacrity affects Siege or Zerging versus, like, okay, Alacrity is taken away from Tempest and whatnot, obviously, right? Because Tempest is a different story because it's kind of like mobile Alacrity for Zerging, which has its place. They probably could have just reduced the values. Because the values on it that they gave for World vs. World were insane. But like, Bladesworn is not the problem for why they're doing that change, right? So it's not really a nerf to Bladesworn. It's probably because of, like, renegades and, well, chronomancers and stuff like that. But, or whatever, however you summon to do Alacrity with chrono. I think it's summoning illusions, right? Don't have blocks. This is an issue. Oh, god damn it. Of course, the torch blast went off. Well, at least red will take the tower. I like that that one guy was waiting. I'm too intimidating, chat. But I'm realizing his stealth is good. I helped, sort of. New objective. They're probably going to head for that camp. Go over to the shrine. Thank you for pointing that out to me, Sergio. I enjoyed that stream. Very helpful. I can't believe they did it last minute. That's probably the most meaningful thing you could provide feedback on, chat, if you want to, is whether or not you like that sort of last minute, like, balance or PvP update stream. Although it would be funny if everyone's like, yeah, we love the PvP update streams, and we never get another PvP update, so they never do another stream, right? But it is what it is. I'm not loving this signet either, because it A, puts you in combat when it generates clones, and B, it kind of sucks because it doesn't regenerate or recharge continuum split. I almost feel like this, because there's a trait that improves active effects, like the active effect for Signet of Illusions could be that it actually recharges continuum split. We did it earlier, Maddie. They did like a whole PvP World vs. World update thing that they like literally did today, and I wasn't aware of. Like, I checked Reddit and everything, and Sergio and a bunch of, like, OceanBat and a bunch of other people were like, hey, there was this thing. So yeah, I guess catch the VOD or rewind it. Is your matchup pretty populated? We were queued before. I can't tell you, but you could check the war score, and I guess that could tell you. Oh, we're first, so I suppose yes. And it's fairly close, because blue is in second, fairly close behind us. So, fairly populated. No, I super appreciate that. Please tell me when stuff's not going on and not. I look for content. I was gonna, you know, Theorycraft rifle and possibly do the sigil stream tonight, and this is much better. We need to do our little, like, you need to take an hour off at night, Silhouette. I know you're in university, but that's not important. You can afford to fail a couple courses. Come, like, play with me for an hour, and we can do the What Do You Enjoy in Guild Wars 2 stream. Tag team. It'll be fun. I'm enjoying Chrono. I just don't know how I'm going to get a power version to work. as far as like, I guess spear is really the only hope I have of that working, because I don't want to play the one-shot build, right? No, I really want to get like other content creators and just be like, yo, what do you love doing in this game? Because mostly because I'm egotistic and want to force people to try the build editor, which is my secret thing that I love doing in the game, but also because like other people are passionate about other stuff. That's really cool to listen to. Live vicariously through. What else we got here, chat? Phantasmal Defender. Why isn't this a stun break is the real question. I guess because these two are stun breaks. Huh. Interesting. I think I have a feeling this is going to end up being mirror images. Is that one trait that whenever you gain stealth, you create a clone still in the game? Or did that get yeeted for something else? I was going to try pistol. Hang on. See how this plays. Silhouette is ASMR. He doesn't have to try for that. I think the clone on Invis thing got yeeted. Boss phases and strategies never knew existed. I don't know, man. I got an auto attack Deadeye that does 38k. You might not get to see many strategies other than res pseudo because he screwed up a mechanic he didn't know existed, but we could definitely give it a shot. Okay, pistol's not terrible. I'm not hating it so far, but it's also versus like a sentry. Ow. This thing gets continuum split. Dude, continuum split's such a cool skill. It's a shame that it has like such a long cooldown now. But I guess you can stay in it for like 6 seconds. Yeah, I'd be down for that. Get a fractal character ready. Come on, my dog shit awful support Bladesworn that can't give regen anymore. Great. Something more useful than that. Okay, so if we're running with that, that's not... Alright, interesting. What's this skill called? Mirror images. I like it. Probably like decoy more, but mirror images seems alright. Noticing I'm dodging quite a bit on this build. Definitely need more might, though. Well, no. My might's pretty good. 22? Maybe more power. No, that makes sense. I was just giving you, like, harassing you. I'm trying to make time on the weekend, but I definitely can't this weekend. I know you gave me a time, which is all I asked, so I'll try to make that work and let you know. We could do like a Saturday, Sunday one day or one weekend so we don't take up too much of each other's time. It's almost weird to me that Gravity Well doesn't do damage. I know it's like triple CC, but like the Spear 5 is gonna do damage if you have clarity, so and stun. That's strange. Sure does take a lot to build up clones though. I guess that's kind of the point. Oh, I get it. Okay. Is the idea like with Shatter Chrono, you play the Signet Evolutions thing, and then every time, like, you reset your shatter, that must be it. I'm learning such basic chrono things that everyone learned like 4 years ago. I'll look up like old shatter chrono builds from the 1920s, and that's what we'll run for this. Song is fire. The song is fire. Again, song ticker coming soon, TM. But for real. I'm not hating pistol, that's for sure. I think I'm gonna have to run decoy though. But we'll see. So Signet of Illusions has a really long casting time. No wonder. Alright, because these are all instant. So Shatter Chrono would look something like you do all your setup, you generate a bunch of clones. You continuum split. You like roll through all your power shatters. Maybe do 3 first to get some slow. Okay. I'll figure this out. My brain is big enough for this, I just gotta practice. They changed a couple things, Ball. Like it's weird, again, I keep bringing it up because I think it's really weird that the staff, or the Spear 5 can do damage in PvP. But again, you need clarity for that. This song is, by the way, sorry, is just like SYZX. SYZX is club mix of, you know, ABBA's Gimme Gimme Gimme. Glad you like EDM. And they changed like the mace and the hammer F1s, which are at least decent on Spellbreaker and PvP now, so they're not completely opposed to it, but I do, you know, warrior bias. I think it's weird whenever they add it to something that's not warrior. Especially because, again, we talked about this when Sea Monster and Guy and I were running around the Borderlands. Executioner size, something with Executioner in the name, does not do damage. And it used to do, like, scaling damage based on the foe's health percentage, and it might still in PvE. Which was always, like, the Jarvan Dunk, or Draven Dunk, whatever the dude in League of Legends name. Like, it was built like that, as either like an execution tool or like a setup for it. So it's interesting. It goes. Very interesting. You can do some monumental setups with like Signet of Illusions, I suppose. Really good burst damage. Oh yeah, super old song. ABBA's super influential. ABBA was old when I was in high school, but very, very cool. One of the first true pop bands, I would say, as far as electronic music goes. If I'm gonna run Shatter Chrono, I still might... I know there's a bunch of traits that increase the efficacy of you doing damage for shatters, but I still might... still might run Illusions, because it gives you so much Condi Cleanse, and if I'm looking to make something more dually and less burst heavy, it'll be more like sustained burst damage, and then I can take maybe something like... what's it called? Relic of the Defender, because every time you shatter or give yourself distortion, or no, it's only when you give yourself distortion. Shoot. You gain Aegis. I thought? Am I an idiot? Am I not running Loot Inspiration? Grant Aegis to nearby allies whenever you give yourself distortion or use shatter for. It's only allies! Son of a bitch. We're learning today, chat. We're learning how to read. Well, that's out. I suppose Relic of the Defender is only a Virtuoso thing. Oh, speaking of which, chat, I hadn't really, like, they've changed Virtuoso traits literally, like, 10 times since they debuted that crap. Virtuosos have some nutso traits. I suppose it's to make up for the fact that they don't get clones, but holy god. No wonder they're impossible to kill. I know not everybody can main everything, but like Virtuoso, man, no wonder everyone's complaining about it. I did see something on Reddit, though, while I was browsing for news that apparently existed. Is there a camp? Take this camp and maybe call it while I tell the story. Thank you guys for hanging out, though. Been a little bit of a roller coaster of a night, but we definitely did some iteration on the Chrono build. We had some fun news. Psyched for the patch next week. But I saw this thing about, like, the Tempest build that Maddie pointed out, doing, like, 46k or something right now with very little effort. And somebody afraid that, like, the Squidward meme, that they're going to nerf it. And it's like, that's suspicious. I feel like everybody's just, like, so... myself included, like, so grass is always greener as far as classes go. Where it seems like ANET just nerfs every, nerfs your thing. Because Cal, they meme on him for playing Ellie. And, I meme on him for playing Ellie and never giving, like, Berserker or Bladesworn flashy animations. So, grass is greener, I suppose. Keep that in mind. Go try other things. It's, like I say, it's helpful to have two mains of different colors in this game. The Purple Thief. Kinda. Purple 1200 range thief. I still think it's really weird that Virtuoso's 12 and not 9. Like, the Blade songs even could be 9, but, like, Dagger definitely should have been 9, at least on Virtuoso. I don't know, man. 12 is just so far. I know they wanted something to be able to compete, like it was the only other power ranged option at the time for really anything, but it's like, 12 is so much. Especially piercing 5 target 12. With no trait necessary. Okay, that was good burst damage. I've just got to, like, do that and find a way to do that over and over. Oh, and Mimic isn't recharged. Interesting by continuum split. Okay, that makes sense. May not be able to run Mimic, chat. I really want to, and I like it. It's fun. It may not be good. Really tragic, because I know Mimic was recharged by CS for the longest time. Ah, legendary spike in my inventory is full. So it be, I suppose. But we have a direction now. This is good. You have, like, try Shatter Chrono, I suppose. Look into that, see how it rolls. I will look up old Shatter Chrono builds. Will be outdated and bad. And it'll be good. And we'll go from there. Aggro this Quartermaster. Remember to hydrate, chat. Alright, cool. Another night of Theorycrafting Chronomancer. We're definitely getting there. It's definitely more tanky and can deal with Condis a lot better than last time, so we're making progress. But yeah, I am Pseudo. This is Build Wars 2. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week. The VOD from Monday will be up on the channel, so don't worry about that. Probably Friday, and then I'll try to get this one up. Failing that, this one will be up, Friday, and that one will be up whenever. So, welcome back, and get ready for Janther Wilds, August 20th. And if you guys have any suggestions for this build or any of the others, let me know in the comments. Again, no build is perfect, and just keep trying stuff. Thank you to our couple of followers, and I'll see you in Tyria, as well as Monday. We'll be back for our gold giveaways if I don't have a edited video up on the channel before that. All right, cool. Cheers, guys. Have a good one. Peace out.